Everyone, please welcome to the program, Amy Sedaris. Nice to see you. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Happy to
So
have
wait
you.
a minute, you're all Greek, 100% Greek?
No, half. Greek and Ukrainian.
Was your dad?
My
Oh,
dad-
Ukrainian.
My dad's Greek, yeah. My mom's Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, we can go on. Just checking.
Just want to make sure you get my ethnic credentials
That's right.
down.
This should be quick.
Simple times, crafts for the poor people.
Yes.
Nice. Tell me about the olden days, your fascination. Do you have a fascination with the olden days?
Olden days.
Yeah.
Maple Grove, Mama's hands. No, I'm not into the olden days at all. I mean, I touched on it in the beginning of this book,
sure
just
did?
by getting back to a simpler time. But I don't want to go back to I mean, those big stoves and no, I just.
When did you, the idea of going to the simpler times, when did you think about it?
Well, just like just being resourceful and making things out of necessity. That in that respect, I mean, a simpler time. You know, you need it, you just make it. That's the attitude.
And it's, obviously it's a funny book and there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments in it, but we live in a time where the economy is so brutal in a sense.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't come on this show to get, no, yeah, no. Yeah, I know, tough times.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are at home making things rather than, what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Drink.
Was that?
Smoke pot. I mean, you can still do that in craft.
You sure
now
can.
you're just doing stuff with your hands and your mind can think about what you wish you were doing.
We are far removed from that generation, though, where you actually did work with your hands, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
When you grew up, were you around it? Did you see it happen?
No, not at all. Well, no. I mean, growing up, I was in Girl Scouts and Junior Achievements, and I learned to craft then, and
Was your mom crafty? Was your dad handy or crafty?
Yeah, we all did something. My dad liked to paint. My mom made things. Everyone in my family,
Did your dad like to paint canvas or walls?
He likes to paint both.
Oh, he does,
painted
really?
both. Yes. A little bit of both.
Was that sort of the artistic inspiration for some of your career?
No, I don't think so. I just think coming from a large family and just us sitting around trying to be really funny and trying to, our timing came from that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you're sitting around the dinner table, you wanted to get in there with a joke or whatever. That's probably where it started.
Did you guys have to go to other families to work on your material at lunch and then come back and try it at the dinner table?
No, we went to old folks' homes. We did. We put on shows at old folks' homes and knock them dead. That was our,
How old were you when you did that?
Oh gosh, 21. No, I don't know, maybe 10 to, those years, 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Were you comfortable with performing at that age, or did you have to get
Yes, and comfortable performing for old people. Yeah, I felt comfortable both.
You didn't, no fear of being judged, I suppose.
Not at all. They were gonna die. What are they gonna say?
Well, there's a lot of, in the work that you do. I mean, when you take on these characters, when you play these women that don't look like you, and there's a sort of safety in that. How do you feel like when you get on a television show and you're not playing somebody who's got a huge costume?
I'd rather hide behind something. It's just more fun, It's a lot more fun. I mean, when you're just yourself, it's just like, bring a book kind of a feel, You do it all the time, so it's fun. I like having something to hide behind, and it just gives me something to play with. Like if I have a hump, or a mole, and it's like, yay, and then I'll just, somehow everything just comes alive.
Just one day he thought, it'd be nice to play behind. How about if I look like Jesus? Which is what you do in this book.
Yes, Crafting for Jesus. And I woke up one morning, that title just came to me.
Crafting for Jesus?
Yes, it did. And then to achieve the look, I saved all the hair from my hairbrush for 6 months, and I kept it in a jar. And then I applied it to my face using toupee tape. And then I filled in the gaps with eye pencil.
Right.
I look fantastic.
You do look a lot like Jesus in there.
Yeah, I look just like Jesus. I do.
No, I know. I watched it. I was reading it. I went, well, we'll show pictures. Take a look. This is her as Jesus right now.
Oh, yeah, you have it? I look like Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh,
you look like Jake Gyllenhaal?
I look like Jake Gyllenhaal. He looks just like Jesus, too. Or Melissa Etheridge. She looks like Jesus.
Jake Gyllenhaal looks like Melissa Etheridge, who looks like Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really, really terrible visual. I was curious with you about political satire and how it's changed over the years. I know that. Hold on.
No, I'm just kidding.
20 years ago, right?
Okay.
It was the audience was different, and their access to satire was different. And I wonder if political satire has changed or evolved the way it needs to currently.
That's an excellent question, George. But I don't really know. I mean, I guess, I don't know the answer to that question, but I just know that things are changed. You get away with more now. That's all I can think of. You know what I mean? It's just going to be even more years from now.
Can you have the same impact? Because there's so much more of it, and it seems, we live in that kind of backlash world, where after a certain amount of time, they're like, whatever. And
Right, so then you go back to the beginning, I would think. Then you just start from the scratch and then see. I'm not saying Charlie Chaplin days, but maybe, I always find that going back to the beginning is like go there first before somebody else does.
What did you make of? I know you worked with Colbert ages ago. I know they pulled it off with the Rally for Sanity. What did you think about that?
Well, I was just starting my tour at the time, so I didn't go to the rally. But I know that him and John were really excited about it, and Colbert says billions of people were there, which I thought was funny. But I thought it was a great idea. And even Oprah got involved. I mean, it was huge. It was gigantic.
What I'm fascinated by you is the idea of the women you play. We talked earlier about you choosing something that's more fun to get behind a costume. Is it ever about dealing with the way women are generally represented in the media? Is there any deeper?
No, I'm not a political. I don't think anything like that. I just do what I like to do, and all I like to do is dress up and look like other people. And I like playing ugly people that think they're attractive, but all my characters like themselves.
Right.
So I mean, that's just my game, But I never think of anything deeper than that.
But didn't you grow up in a house where your old man was really fixated on how you guys looked?
Yes, my dad's very weight conscious. He'll be the first. I just did Letterman not too long ago, and he's like, I saw you in Letterman, I thought you looked fat. I mean, that's what he said to me. Yeah. And he goes, I guess the cameras can add pounds. I'm like, whatever, Dad. It doesn't bother me. It never affects me what he has to say about it.
And it never did?
Go on.
And it never did when you were a kid?
No, it doesn't, because it's just like, whatever, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Well, how about the rest of your siblings?
Some people in my family are sensitive to it, but my brothers, my little brother Paul and my older brother David and I, somehow it just never affected us.
Paul has an amazing contribution to one of the books. The bucket is maybe one of my favorite things.
Oh, for my liking, yes. Yeah. And then he did it's a roach clip made from a crab claw. It's really good craft. I use it all the time.
The crab roach clip, that's amazing.
All the time.
Let's play some anthropology, miss. I'm going to throw a bunch of questions towards you.
True.
All right. What do you get out of collecting plastic replica pieces of meat?
Oh, okay. It's plaster, first of all.
Okay, yeah.
I'm really picky about the meat I collect. I just think it's beautiful. I mean, and sometimes during Thanksgiving, I'll take my fake turkey and I'll put a piece of tin foil on top of it, and then people think it's hot, see?
To get festive.
Fools people. Yeah, I have lots of nice pieces.
There's a moment, people, obviously, you evolve as you do things longer and longer, and do you have a comedic moment that you regret? You look back now and go, what was I thinking?
Oh, all the time. When you're on a talk show, then later you get home and you think about it. It drives me crazy. Yeah, but what are you going to do? Write it down and try to, force it in next time?
What was the most memorable thing about your first kiss?
Oh, well, he was a waterhead. He really was. He had a hydro head. His head was full of water. And it was in elementary school. We were playing this game, and I ran into him. The teacher made me kiss him.
Your teacher made you kiss him?
She made me kiss him.
How'd you feel about that?
It was nice. It was really nice.
You were in a Dolly Parton video. What tips did you get from her?
Well, first of all, Dolly Parton she was walking by me, and I got to hear her say the words smoky sausages. I don't know what she was talking about, but I heard her say smoky sausages. I loved working with Dolly Parton. And from her, I got to work with a monkey, and the guy who made my costumes for that video made all the costumes in the book. So I got a great relationship out of it. And she was really sweet and she invited me into her camper, and I got to snoop around. She's great.
Yeah, it's funny. People forget just how awesome Dolly Parton really was.
Really. And she hired all the women from Dollywood. They were all the extras, a lot of ladies.
A lot of nice. Crafts. Which crafts do you think rich people can do really well?
Oh, gosh, rich ideas. Rich people are really good at wasting things. Like, let's say if they had wallpaper and it was flocked, then they could just, cut up the flocked wallpaper and use it for something else. Or if they buy a big traditional braided rug, they might want to color in the braided rug with magic marker. Take something expensive and do something. That's a rich idea.
Sure. Other than yourself and your brother David, what's your favorite brother-sister duo?
Oh, Karen Carpenter. I just read a book about Karen Carpenter. I mean, I liked reading about it, and it just came to my mind. It was a good book.
That one ended.
He sounds crazy, though. Her brother sounds crazy. But I enjoyed reading about that.
Well, that whole thing ended really badly, though, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
What's your favorite thing?
Starving for attention. Yeah, I think so.
What's your favorite thing about being in Canada? And working in Canada?
That I'm leaving in about 20 minutes. No. I like Canada a lot, actually. I just regret I didn't have time to go shopping here, because I know you guys have some great stores, but I just got here today, and then
Your money's not worth as much as it used to be, so you'd probably end up taking a loss. You don't want to do that.
Have a good show. Yeah, right.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, wow, it's over?
Really appreciate it.
Hey, nice meeting you. Thank you.
Christmas gifts, you want to be creative? Here's the book, Simple Times, Crafts for Poor People, Amy Sedaris. Stroumboulopoulos.com is the website. We'll see you next time.